Hello everyone, myself Shivans, and my topic for presentation is food quality management system. Let's begin with the presentation. The aims of this presentation is understanding about what is food quality, what is the need for food quality, what is the consumer requirements, and understanding about different quality aspect parameters like ISO, HACCP, VACCP, and the five key elements of the safe foods. What is food quality? The food quality is a sensory property that includes appearance, taste, nutritional value, health benefits, and safety. Now, it includes those attributes which affect consumers' choice for product. Now, what is the need for food quality? The major challenge for food industry is to maintain the food quality. The reason being well consumer. For this reason, the food industry has to adopt certain techniques in order to meet the growing need of maintaining food quality, which is known as quality control. The main issue which is considered while quality control process is to deteriorate the level of microbes and other contaminants in the food. Now, the consumer requirements in the modern days in 21st century is the consumer is very curious, demanding, and whoever providing the best deals in cheap rates while maintaining the best quality and optimum services can survive in the market. Now, let's begin with the introduction here with the food quality management. Now, food quality management is the process of directing and controlling the raw material handling, directing and controlling the raw material handling, production, packaging, and distribution of food products in order to ensure the effectiveness and efficiency. The common food management system applied in each sections are International Organization for Standardization, Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point, Threat Assessment, Critical Control Point, vulnerability assessment critical control points, good manufacturing practices, and good hygiene practices. Let's understand by ISO, International Organization for Standardization. The International Organization for Standardization ensures that the product and services are safe, reliable, and of good quality. Now, ISO 22000 is a food safety management system that can be applied to any organization in the food chain from farm to fork. Now, ISO 22000 is a generic food safety management standard. It can be used by any organization directly or indirectly involved in the food chain. It applies to all organizations in the food chain. It doesn't matter that how complex the organization is or what is the size of it. ISO 22000 can help ensure the safety of its food products. Now, let's begin with the second tool here, which is HACCP, Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point. Now, HACCP is a system which looks for and prevents potential problems before they happen. Now, HACCP may be used by food companies to make sure that they do not break the law by putting consumer at risk when producing food. It is a structured approach to risk assessment and is one means of satisfying the risk assessment. It was given by UK hygiene legislation. Now, how HACCP works is a 12 steps in HACCP, 5 preliminary steps, and 7 principles is there. Now, the first preliminary step is assemble HACCP team, describe your product, identify the intended use of that product, construct a flow diagram, and on-site confirmation of the flow diagram. Now, the principles include list out your hazards, conduct hazard analysis, consider control measures, determine critical control points, establish critical limits for CCP, establish monitoring system for CCPs, establish corrective actions, establish verification procedure, establish documentation and record keeping. Now, the benefits to the consumer of this HACCP is that reduce the risk of foodborne diseases, increase confidence in food supply, and increased awareness of basic hygiene, increased quality of life. The industry is also benefited by this process by increased market access, mitigating the business risk, and reduction in the production cost through reduced wastage and recall of food, increased consumer and government confidence. Because if you're applying HACCP, your quality will be better and the risk of your food recall will be less. And benefits to the government is improved public health, reduced public health cost, enhanced facilitation, and international trade. TSCCP is Threat Assessment Critical Control Point. This is all about food defense. The TSCCP is all about food defense, and the focus is on food tampering, intentional adulteration, or contamination of food. TSCCP build upon the existing process of HACCP is ensuring the safety of food products. Now, TSCCP implementation involves thinking like a potential attacker and examine the vulnerability, likelihood, or opportunities, and an appreciation that intentional contamination require human intervention. Now, TSCP helps to proactively identify and manage the control points in the supply chain that can be at risk of intentional contamination. VSCCP is Vulnerability Assessment Critical Control Point. VSCCP focus on adulteration for financial gain in the supply chain. For example, product substitution, bulking out with a cheaper ingredient, the sale of counterfeit or stolen goods. Okay, now VCP is concerned with preventing two of these things. One is adulteration, and the other thing is substitution by adding foreign material, which is not the product label, which is not on the product label, or at lower cost, and also at lower cost, or fake a higher quality. And substitution is replacing a food ingredient with another substance. It is similar but inferior. This is a chart of food safety, food defense, and food fraud, which is examined by HACCP, TSCCP, and VSCCP. Food safety is taken by HACCP, TSCCP focus on food defense, and VSCCP focus on food fraud. And there is a difference in this. Now, GMP is good manufacturing practices, which is applied here. The good manufacturing practices is a set of regulations, codes, and guidelines for the manufacturing of drug substances and drug products, medical devices, in vivo and in vitro diagnostic products, and foods. A basic principle of GMP is that the quality cannot be tested into a batch of product but must be built into each batch of product during all stages of the manufacturing processes. It is used to minimize the risk involving in any pharmaceutical production that cannot be eliminated through the testing the final product. The principle of GMP is design and construct the facilities and equipment properly, follow written procedures and experiments, document work, validate work, monitor facilities and equipment, write step-by-step operating procedures and work on instructions, design, develop and demonstrate job competence, protect against contamination, control components and product-related products, conduct plant and periodic audits. Now, GMP in food industry could be personal, plant and ground, sanitary operations, sanitary facilities and control, equipment and utensil, process and control, warehousing and distribution, and maximum defect action level. Raw material, packaging material, and finished product testing. Each lot of batch of raw material is tested, confirm the identity of the raw material, product assurance that quality of the drug in doses. So this is under the each lot of the batch of the raw material is tested. Now, material and products should be stored under the conditions specified and protected from contamination, especially microbiological cross contamination. Result must conform to specification for use or sale and transportation and storage record. 5 P's of GMP is very important: people, product, processes, procedures, and premises. People include comprehend roles and responsibility, product include clear specification, process include properly documented, simple and consistent, and procedure is guideline for undertaking critical processes, and premises is cleanliness and equipment calibration at all time. Now next is GHP, good hygienic practices. Good hygienic practices deal with safety and suitability requirement to followed by worldwide. It is a guide for food manufacture or compliance with food safety regulations. GHP is a prerequisite for GMP implementation. Now, 8 principles of GHP is primary production, establishing design, operation control, sanitation, personal hygiene, transportation, consumer awareness, on-job training. 5 key elements of safe food is there: effectiveness, effective washing of raw material, glasswares, use safe water, cooking temperature, separate raw and cooked food, storage temperature. You should take care of these basic things for maintaining the food quality management system. And from here, slides are over. Thank you for listening.